All right, ladies, let's start bringing them out there. Pro Stock, Truck, and Short Course. Sean, Bobby, Keith, and Ina. Let's get them out there. Term also going to be Lewis and anybody else like Kyle, Mason, Vince, anybody else, Danny, anybody else can help term marshal. Looks like we're going to need at least 3 or 4 term marshals, so we're going to take our time tonight. Nice and easy program. And don't forget, guys, if you run on Thursday and Saturday, your Saturday race fees are 2 for the price of 1. So you get 2 classes for $20. That'll be the discount from now on. We had the race cost on Thursday nights, and if you just race on Saturday, it'll be $20 and $5 for your extra class. We just got a $900 increase on insurance. So as prices go up, we have to pass it on. There's no way we can absorb an extra $1,000 a year in insurance. So, all right, 4 minutes to go. Let's get them checked in, guys. What? Something smells good in here. Smells like what? Onions? You know, that means that you've been poisoned. It's boobies. It's onion. Boobies is onions. Oh, wait, I'm talking about it. I'm sitting there and I see this. All right, let's get him checked in, guys. Let's go. 3 minutes on the clock. Looking for Lewis. Get a couple of volunteers. Get out there. Thank you, Arnell. Thank you, Lewis. Let's get a couple more volunteers out there. Got Ina checked in. Looking for Keith, Bobby, and Sean. See, I don't like these big glasses. I like the small ones. I gotta look over them. That could be it. All I can say is I've seen Sean run his truck, and it's looking pretty impressive tonight. Uh-oh, doors being closed. Going to affect the racers. Is it? Oh, onions, I get it. You pop a breaker again? Oh. What?
Turning the fans on so the heat escapes.
Thank you. With that, man. All right, Sean's checked in. We're just waiting for Keith. We'll get ready to go. Let's get some volunteer term marshals out there, guys. Volunteers, let's go. All right, we're all checked in. Finish the lap you're on, guys. Finish the lap you're on. We'll get ready to go. Want to welcome everybody on YouTube right now. We're broadcasting live. Let's get them on the back straightaway over here by Lewis, down here by the TV. The refrigerator. Thank you, Mason. Thank you to my volunteers for coming out, helping out. All right, Sean, you're going to lead us off, followed by Bobby, Keith, Ina. Do not go until I call you. This is qualifying. Here we go. Sean on the horn, less than 5. Bobby. Keith. Miss Ina. And here we go. We are first round today of Pro Stock Truck and Short Course mixed together. Track should be pretty dialed. And here they come down the back. Bobby in that white truck. Lead them out. Sean traction rolling up there in the corner. Got to watch that sweeper. And right now we'll see what happens when Ina comes around with her first lap. And right now, Keith leading them out. Bobby 2, Ina 3, Sean in the 4. Bobby, new pass lap, 22.8. That's new pass lap of the round. In that white truck in the number 2 position. Sean, 25.2, his new pass lap. Bobby now taking over the lead, 13.501. Miss Ina coming around now up to the number 3 spot with a 23.7, her new pass lap. So right now it's Bobby, Keith, Ina, and Sean. Bobby coming around with another 23.2, and that white truck is your leader. Keith coming out the back in the yellow and black. That's going to be number 2. Sean going to be in the orange, and Miss Ina going to be in the yellow truck. Ina, 22.9, another new pass laps right now. Bobby running a 22-second lead over Keith. 1:30 down, 3.5 to go. Ooh, Bobby up on 2 wheels, traction roll, and he rolls over the jump. And right now, there it is. Miss Ina now taking over the 2 spot. Bobby now jumping up to a 14-lap pace in that white truck. 25.6 dropped back to a 13-lap pace. Right now, he's got a 19-second lead over Miss Ina. Keith now to the 3, Sean in the 4. Coming up to that halfway point, Keith, 22.6. New pass lap for him. And there it is, 2.5 down, 2.5 to go. Bobby, 22 flat that time. New pass lap. 19 seconds ahead of Keith now up there 2. He missed Ian at 3, Sean in at 4. Keith, 21.6, new pass lap. He's now 12 seconds behind Bobby, trying to reel him in. And coming up on a 2-minute mark, and Ina with a 22.7, her new pass lap. Bunch of new pass laps. Bobby, 21.8 that time. Keith still the pass lap, 21.6 on 6. And Miss Ina slows down with a 27.3 that time. Right now, it is Bobby, Keith, Ina, and Sean, 1:40 on the clock. Next up, Pro Stock Buggy. Be Vince, Kyle, Mason, and Dan the Man Hitchcock will be out there racing. Keith, 31.1 that time, slows up. Bobby now up to a 14-lap pace, 1:30 to go, and that white truck's your leader. Sean, 26.3 right now, hanging tough with Ina battling out for that 3 and 4 spot. Miss Ina, 30.5, slows up, and Sean now parks it right behind Miss Ina for that number 3 spot. Your white truck is your leader. Right there comes Keith in the number 2 spot. Bobby matches that 22-second lap that Keith just ran, and they're staying 1 and 2. There it is, 1 to go, guys. Yellow's on, 1 to go. Keith, 21.9 that time, but Bobby, 22.5, maintains that lead right now. Bobby's in the white, Keith in the orange, yellow, and black. Here comes Sean, and going to be in that orange and blue, and Miss Ina is going to be in the gold and blue, it looks like, with white. Sean, 23.3 on lap number 10. New pass lap there for him. 20 seconds to go, guys. Ten seconds to go.
We actually found the rest of the fender on our way up.
We saw it in the construction area. It was on the other side of the road. Race it out, guys. Race it out. Everybody keep going. Keep going. This should be your final lap. Miss Ina, you're done. Sean, you're done. Bobby, you're done. Waiting for Keith. Track's still hot, guys. Hold your position. And Keith, you're done. Bobby, setting early TQ, 14.5.17. Keith, 13.5.22. And Miss Ina, 12 and 5.01. Good run, guys. All right, next up is B, Pro Stock Buggy. Bring him to the line. They say Pro Stock. We'll see. Can I tell you that even after the car wash, I couldn't see the fucking road. I'm telling you, I was there cleaning today. I couldn't pass. They wouldn't come off. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of them that were stuck in the you don't even know. They were inside the camper, all over the place. All right, guys. Drivers from the first race. I need you out on track. Drop. Drop 1 tooth. Drop to the one. Drop 1 tooth. You're too hot.
Just try one. So of course he takes the dryer sheet out of the box and he starts.
Just waiting for Mason to check in. We got 2 minutes on the clock.
Gotta get it wet. Oh, this really works.
Hey, Keith, come on down to the big cone for me. Yeah. No, you stay up here. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody that crashes on top deserves to crash on top. Plus, you get a seat.
You know, a film. Yeah. It'll smell really good. But yeah, it will. But it'll take
Dun, 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 dun. The man's got a charger that will charge batteries in 3 seconds. I won't say anything. He let me have the weekend off so I can celebrate my wife's birthday.
But even in this car, keep a little box of them just in the pocket. Because I mean, it's not just love bugs, you know, if you're driving on the road.
Did dive bombing you?
Nasty, you know, bloody splatters and
All right, we're all checked in. Let's get him back over there. Back over there.
Because I've seen like on Facebook or something like that where you can take like if you burn like food in your hand.
All right, Vince, you're going to lead out, followed by Kyle, Mason, and Danny. Here we go. Vince on the horn, less than 5. Kyle. Mason.
Learn something new every day.
That's right.
Danny. I see everybody's trying to jump this first corner, and we're trying to go left right away and turn in the air. So, didn't work for any of you. Drive normal. Vince coming around 20.8 first lap. Kyle 22. Mason 20.1. See what Danny does as he comes around. And a 22 flat. Mason, Vince, Danny, and Kyle's the running order right now. Mason laying down, second pass lap, 19.7. Kyle, 19.4. Now taking over that 2 spot. Vince in the 3, Danny in the 4. Danny new pass lap, 21.4. Mason. And it's all over the place right now. It's Mason, Kyle, Vince, and Danny. Mason now on a 16.5.18. Everybody else on a 14 lap pace. 1:15 down, 3:45 to go. Mason, 19.3 that time, new fast for him. Kyle still has the fast lap, 19 flat on 3. Mason right now the only one on a 16 lap pace. Danny now moving up to the 3 spot. Vince back to the 4. So right now it's Mason, Kyle, Danny, and Vince. Danny new fast lap, 21.3 on 4. Kyle now taking the lead right now, 1 second over Mason, 16.5.18. Mason 16.5.19. Danny new pass lap again, 21 flat that time. And Kyle now stretching that lead out by 1.5 seconds right now over Mason. Danny and you got Vince now, 20.7, now just 3 seconds behind Danny in that number 3 spot. Coming up to the halfway point. Danny now jumping up to a 15 lap pace. There it is, 2.5 down, 2.5 to go. Right now, Kyle Newhouse in the lead. Mason in the 2. That's a 1 second difference, followed by Danny and Mr. Vince. And right now, Vince just 2 seconds behind Danny in the number 3 spot. Kyle and Mason right now, 0.6 of a second difference. So right now it's Kyle, Mason, Danny, and Mr. Vince. Mr. Vince putting it down now, 20.9 that time. And there it is. Vince now jumping up to number 3. Danny into the 4. 2 second difference between them. And Kyle still hanging on to a 1 second lead. 1:45 to go. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes on the next race because I know you guys are turn marshal. Some of you guys are going race, turn marshal race. So we'll give you guys plenty of time. Kyle hanging tough right now. Stretching that lead to 2 seconds over Race and Mason. Danny out there in that new purple car. Vince, new pass lap, 20.092. Now on a 15.519 pace, coming up to the 1 minute mark. That's not going to help you come back. And Mason dropping off to 16 lap pace. It's Kyle, the only one out there left on a 16 lap pace. The leader coming around. Kyle, that's your leader right there. And he's got that thing rotating right now. 1 to go, guys. 1 to go. Vince right now trying to go after Mason for that number 2 spot. "30 seconds. Kyle Newhouse putting a driving show on here today. "20 seconds. 19.3 for our leader. "10 seconds. Next up will be Indy, be Bobby, Lewis, Ina, and Keith. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. Race it out. Keep going until I call you. Keep going, Kyle. Number 16. Mason, you're done. Vince, you're done. Fast lap, Vince, 20.001 that time. And looks like we're all done. Kyle taking it, 16.518. Mason, 15.502. And Vince, 15.515. Good race, guys. All right, next up is going to be the last race of the first qualifiers. It'll be independent stock buggy. Bring him to the line. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Susan and James down in the Keys. Yes, very jealous. Miss hanging out with you guys down there. We'll get down there soon enough. Yeah. Stop blowing kisses from the Keys. Stop at Sloppy Joe's and send me some Sloppy Joe's down up here. All right, I'm going to put an extra 2 minutes on the clock. I got Bobby and Lewis checked in, looking for Miss Ina and Keith. Driver from the last race. Need you out there, turn marshal. I know some of you guys are having to turn marshal twice. I apologize. All right, Keith checked in. All right, waiting for Miss Ina to check in. Just let her check in, Miss Ina, please. Gotcha, thank you. You got it. Gotcha. All right, Bobby, you're going to lead us off, followed by Mr. Lewis, Miss Ina, and Keith. Bobby, you're going to go on the horn. Less than 5. Lewis. Messina. Mr. Keith. And here we go. This is the independent stock buggy. The only difference between this and the pro is they cannot have a sponsorship. The indie stock buggy is made for people who are sponsoring themselves. Corporate sponsors are not allowed. Run, Forrest. It's a good way to get started, and you can run the novice class when we have a bunch of novice guys who should have been showing up tonight, but it's okay. Right now, Bobby Ifredi leading them out, followed by Keith, Lewis, and Miss Ina. Bobby 20.5 out there in that Joey Logano paint job. Bobby is Mr. Racer of the Year. He goes all over the United States. Lewis, new pass lap, 21.3 that time. Keith, 20.6. Wow, him and Bobby have battled out. 2-second difference. And Ina with a 22.3. That's her fast lap also. Bobby right now is 0.4 of a second ahead of Keith. See what happens when Keith comes around. Watch out on top, guys. Traction roll. Go low on the inside. We're clear. And right now, Bobby hanging on to a 2-second lead over Keith. Lewis still in that. And Lewis now dropping back into the 4. Miss Ina to the 3. Bobby 20.8 that time, maintaining that 3-second lead over Keith. See what Keith can do. 1:30 down, 3.5 to go. Again, this is the first qualifier. We have 2 qualifiers and then the mains. Miss Ina, 22.3, new fast lap for her. Right now, her and Lewis are battling out. It's 0.02 of a second difference between Lewis and Ina for that number 3 spot. You got a battle, 2 separate battles going on. Bobby and Keith are battling it out for the 1 and 2 spot. Bobby hanging on right now. And Lewis and Miss Ina both running new fast laps. Lewis with 20.8. See what Miss Ina does when she comes around. Bobby 21.1 that time. Miss Ina slows off a little bit right now. Lewis with 15-second lead that time. And right now, Bobby's stretching that lead out to 4 seconds. See what Keith does. He comes around. And he chomps into that, and Lewis, 20.7, jumps up to a 14-lap pace. That is the halfway point with 2.5 down, 2.5 to go. It is Keith now taking the lead. Bobby 2, followed by Lewis and Ina. Keith, 20.2, new fast lapping around. That's that man in the yellow and orange in the front of the driver's stand. That's your leader. Bobby drops into the 2. Lewis. And then Bobby lays down the fast lapping around, 19.9 in that Joey Logano paint job in front of the driver's stand. And he is now 1 second behind Keith right now. Lewis still hanging tough in the 3, Ina in the 4. And Bobby hangs on and takes the lead back as Keith runs a 24.4 that time. Bobby out there with that Logano body with the yellow and orange. Keith in the 2, followed by Lewis and Miss Ina, 1:40 on the clock. We'll probably take a good half-hour break in between rounds if you guys want. We'll open up concessions again, get some drinks and chips if you want. 1:30 to go. And again, two battles. Bobby right now hanging on. He's on a 15.520 pace. 120 on the clock. Keith just picked up 2 seconds on Bobby, but Bobby's still hanging on to a 15-lap pace. Lewis trying to reel in Keith right now. He's 15 seconds back. Yellow's on. We're at the 1 minute mark. Miss Ina, new pass lap 21.7 that time. She's close to bumping up to a 14-lap pace. Right now, everybody, top three are on a 14-lap pace, and Lewis just drops off that to a 13-lap pace. And right now, Keith is 2 seconds behind Bobby. He's reeled him in. We'll see what Keith does as he comes down to his next lap. Woo, it's 1 second between the two of them. Keith has caught him. Take it easy, Mason. Take it easy. Safety first. 15 seconds, guys. Keith knocking at the door, trying to knock him out. We'll see what happens when he comes around. And Keith now in the lead by 6 seconds over Bobby, and here it is. Race it out, guys. This is it. Lewis, you're done. Bobby, you're done. Keith and Missy are done. Keith taking it. First qualifier, 14.506. Bobby, 14.513. Lewis, 13.501. Messina, 13.511. Okay, guys, it's 7:28, 8 o'clock. I'll go up at round number 2. Yes, ma'am. All right, guys, 5 minutes. We're going to go second round. 5 minutes. Get ready.
I'll see you in a few. Tom.
All right. Thanks for the warning. All right, 6 minutes on the clock. It'll be Bobby, Keith, Ina, and Sean. You guys will be up in 6.5 minutes. Be Lewis and a couple of volunteers be turn marshal in this race. I appreciate you guys helping out tonight and volunteer turn marshal. All right, thank God Iggy's here. He can turn marshal. Way to go, Iggy. Thanks, buddy. All right, 3.5 on the clock. Let's go. Bobby, Keith, Ina, and Sean. Let's get them checked in. I need Lewis and some volunteers. Let's get them out there, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate all your help. Oh, no. You're going to get the big cone out there. I gave you a bucket to sit on. Come on. You're young. All right, everybody's checked in. Still need one more volunteer. If I can get some volunteer out there. One more. Come help the children. Please volunteer. Help the children. This is for the children. All right, finish lap you're on. I'm going to go into the round. Bobby's going to lead it off. He TQ'd round 1, 14-5-17. Keith, you're going to be 2. Miss Ina 3. Sean, you're going to be 4. Get him behind the line, guys. Get him behind the line. Lap is closed. Track is closed. All right, one more volunteer from the pits. Volunteer. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Come on, one of you pro stock guys. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Vince McMahon. You know he writes it on his shirt in case he forgets, right? Like, who are you? I can't hear you, so you'll have to tell me later. All right, Bobby, let's see if you can bring home the bacon. Bobby's going to go on home in less than 5. Keith. Ina. Sean. All right, guys, remember, let's stop traction rolling these big cars and get them around the track. See if somebody can take down the man himself. Here he comes down the back. Bobby Ifredi. Traction roll. I just said slowed him down. Wow. Keith taking the lead in that orange, yellow, and black. Traction roll again. And right now it's Keith. Sean now to the 2. Bobby 3. Ina in the 4. Keith coming down the back. He's going to get a big lead right now. 22-8 that time. He's now 3 seconds off TQ pace. Bobby in the number 3 spot, 27-8. See what Sean can do. And there it is, 1 down, 4 to go. Sean hanging on to that number 2 spot right now, a 19-second lead over Bobby. Miss Ina now in the 4 spot. And here comes Keith down the back. 25 flat. Bobby 22-2-2-1. New fast lap it around on lap number 3. He's now 1 second behind Sean in that number 2 spot. Sean, new pass lap, 24 flat. Now Sean bumps up to the lead lap on a 13-lap pace. Miss Eno, a new pass lap, 23-9. And there it is, Keith. Bobby now taking over the number 2 spot. He is on a mission right now. We'll see if Sean can take it right back. Again, guys, less traction rolling, more driving. Ina, 23-3 that time. New pass lap again. She's up to a 12-lap pace. 2 down, 3 to go. Keith lead him out. Bobby now 11 seconds back. Bobby in that white truck. Sean now in the 3. He's got Miss Ina all over the back. And there it is. Bobby taking the lead now. Keith ran a 29-8 that time. Now dropped back to the 2. Ina, another new pass lap in that stadium truck, 23 flat. Ina now just 2 seconds behind Sean. Bobby 22-4, off TQ pace by 1 full lap. That is the halfway point with 2.5 down, 2.5 to go. Next race up will be Pro Stock Buggy. Vince, Kyle, Mason, and Danny. You'll be up next. Keith 22 flat that time. New pass lap on 6. And Ina now taking the 3. Sean back into the 4. Right now it's Bobby Ifredi in the lead. I feel like I'm calling a horse race. Bobby in the lead with Jockey. All right, forget Gay. 3 down, 2 to go. Want to shout out to James and Susan down in the Keys. How you doing, guys? James, make her cook. Tell her not to be lazy. Bobby now in the lead. It looks like he might be out. Keith now 2. Sean and Ina. Ina now taking back the number 3 spot. Keith now taking the lead. Bobby is out. Something happened. We'll see if Keith can now take over at TQ time. 1:30 on the clock. Hey, Chuck, good talking to you, buddy. Hope you're out there watching. And another big shout out to Jim LeConte. I hope Jim's watching. Jim's going to be having some major surgery at the end of this month. We will be putting some serious prayers out for Jim with his cancer. And I want to say hey to Chuck, Linebach, whatever. I hope you are watching. I hope everything's going all right, Chuck. Coming up to that 1 minute mark. Keith right now off TQ pace by 1 full lap. Ina now taking up 2. Sean in the 3. And there it is. 1 to go. Yellow's on. We'll see what it is. 30 seconds to go. Keith leading him out now. Still needs to kick it up a notch to get ahead of that TQ. Ina still in number 2. Sean right behind her by 3 seconds. 20 seconds to go. And Mr. Bobby's out. 10 seconds to go. Miss Ina, 23 flat in that white and yellow truck in the number 2 spot. She bumped it up to a 12 lap. And Sean with a 23.7. Race it out, guys. Sean trying to reel in Ina, and he rolls it there. It's called traction roll. Ina, you're done. Keith, you're done. Waiting for Sean. Here he is going over the final roller. And down the straightaway in that famous, I think that's Tracy Carver's paint job. You are done. Keith takes it 13.508. Bobby holds on to the TQ. Miss Ina 12.502. And Sean 12.510. Good race, guys. All right, next group up is Pro Stock. Vince, Kyle, Mason, and Danny. Last time, Kyle had a driving school for the boys. Let's see if we can bring it back. That was you, not me. That was you, remember? I didn't do that. Really? All right, who are we missing out there? Sean's out there. Bobby, we need you out there. Keith and Miss Ina are out there. Thank you, guys. Just waiting for Bobby.
Bobby, you gonna make it? You gonna make it?
He's coming. He's buying parts.
Is it race?
Parts aisle 5.
Is he racing or
Turn
turn marshalling?
marshaling.
Turn marshalling.
All right, let him come back to that. Bobby, go turn marshal. She'll come back to it. Bobby, just leave your credit card there. We'll find. I need a trip to Aruba. Can you believe he's in there buying parts? I know. There he is. Say hi to the camera. They're all watching at home. All right, get back to your corner. That's the camera right there. There you go. That's Bobby Ifredi. We call him Scrubbing Bubbles. And we call him Mr. Pinion Man. Okay, don't put your hands on your hips because you know what that means, right? Well, no, we don't want to see any bones either, so don't throw them out there. All right, Kyle, you have a TQ set around 116.518. You're going to lead us off, followed by Mason, Vince, and Danny. Kyle on the horn, less than 5. Racing Mason. Vince. Daniel. And here we go, round 2. Pro Stock Boogie on the track. I don't know, my money feels like it's on Kyle. I don't know, he put a whipping on these guys before. All right, let me change that. He just flipped over. Hey, if anybody needs the opinion fixed, just let Bobby know. Mason right now leading out, 16.511 ahead of TQ Page. Vince in the 2, followed by Kyle and Danny. And Vince right now, fast lap. Danny, fast lap 20. Both of them running 22nd flat that time. Mason now 16.517, 1 second. And Kyle in the basement, lying down on 19.7. New fast lap. No, Mason is 19.4. Right now it's Mason, Vince, Danny, and Kyle. Loser. 1:15 down, 3:45 to go. Vince 19.4. That time 19.9, excuse me. Right now it is basically Kyle right on the back. And there it is, Kyle 19.4, moving ahead of Danny. Vince now taking the lead by 0.8 of a second over Racing Mason. Kyle now to the 3, Danny in the 4. And right now, Danny 3 seconds behind Kyle for that number 3 spot. Vince, and they're all pretty close, guys. All running 15-lap pace, all 4 of them. And right now, Vince holding on to a 8-second lead. Excuse me, make that 0.8 of a second. And Mason now takes the lead by 2 seconds. Danny now taking over that 3 spot from Vince with a 20.8 that time. Right now is a 1 second difference between Danny and Kyle. 2 down, 3 to go. Again, shout out to Jim, Chuck, and the Tater Babies down in the Keys. Mason leading them out right now. 2 seconds ahead of Vince. Kyle taking back that number 3. Danny in the 4. And that is the halfway point. 2.5 down, 2.5 to go. Racing Mason McComb right now is off TQ pace by 1 full lap. Kyle set that in round 1 with 16.518. Nobody is on a 16-lap pace. Everybody right now, top 4 running a 15-lap pace. Danny, new pass lap, 20.4. Now parks himself behind. And Kyle jumping up to the number 2 with a 19.4. And Mason with a 19.2. Now 3 seconds ahead of Kyle. Kyle went from the bottom to the second place. Vince dropping back, and there it is, 3 down, 2 to go. It's Mason, Kyle, Vince, and Danny. Danny right now 5 seconds behind Vince for that number 3 spot, but you have Mason that are back-to-back 19.2s. He's now 4 seconds ahead of Kyle. Vince coming around 20.1. See what Danny can put down, see if he can reel him in. Danny coming down the back straightaway in that new paint job. And right now, 1:30 to go. Mason leading them out, 2 seconds ahead of Kyle. Vince, 4 seconds back, and there it is. Newhouse taking the lead away from Mason. I don't know what's going on here. This oval racer coming dominating the off-road. Kyle leading them out now, 15.506. Mason, Vince now, 15.510. Mason back to the 3. Danny in the 4, coming up to the 1 minute mark. Yellow's on, 1 to go in the final qualifier. Pro Stock Buggy. Kyle Newhouse leading them out by 5 seconds over Vince. Mason just 0.3 of a second behind him. It's close, and Danny back in the 4. 45 seconds on the clock. I want to thank all our viewers on YouTube right now. Right now it's showing we have 61 viewers. Bunch of losers down in the Keys. Hope you choke on a sand dollar. 30 seconds to go. Kyle leading it out, followed by Mason. Vince is now in the 3. It is so close between them, and Danny in the 4. 20 seconds to go. Kyle, 19-3. 3 seconds ahead of Mason right now. Danny, new pass lap 20.2. Race it out, guys. Race it out. Kyle, you're done. Taking a win. We'll see if it holds. Danny, you're done. Vince, you're done. New pass lap. And oh, at the last second, Vince tucks in and is Kyle taking a win 15.504. Vince 15.509. Mason 15.512. And Danny 14.502. All right, Indy Stock Buggy, you'll be up next.
Tom,
Yes, sir.
did y'all make up your mind where y'all going? To dinner? No?
All right, Termos is right there. Just waiting for Keith to check in. Here he comes. Hey, Danny, can we get the kids behind the fence? Have them go sit on the bleachers if they want, or sit behind the fence. Because you can sit on the bleachers, guys. This is where you're safe behind the fence. All right, as soon as Keith checks in, we'll run our final qualifier. Then we'll take a short break and go into the mains. Da-da-da-da. Thank you, Keith. Ooh, look at that. Good thing I moved the kids, right? I think Keith was aiming for the kids. Does Keith like kids or children? That's the question tonight. Does Keith like children? We know Bobby does because he's still a child. He can't even put opinion on. Sorry, Bobby. We love you too. All right, guys, shut it down, shut it down. Here we go. Keith, who hates children. You're going to lace off. You have a TQ 15.506. Let's see if somebody can take it. Bobby, you're going to be 2. Lewis 3. Ina in the 4. This will be the final qualifier of tonight. We'll take a short break after this race and go into the mains. Keith, on the horn, lesson 5. Bobby. Lewis. Miss Ina. And here we go. We're up, all 4 guys, and Miss Ina, excuse me, 3 guys and Miss Ina are out there. Bobby and Keith both run 20-second laps. We'll see where everybody else comes through. Lewis now, 21-2 right there in that red buggy right now in the lead, waiting for Miss Ina to come around for her first lap. But it's Lewis, Bobby, Keith, and it looks like Ina. And there she comes. And right now, top three are ahead of TQ pace. And Lewis right now ahead just off TQ pace. Right now, he is 0.4 of a second ahead of Keith. Bobby in the 3, Miss Ina in the 4. 1 down, 4 to go. And Bobby, new pass lap, 21 flat. Miss Ina, 23.4. Now Miss Ina, 22 flat that time. And right now, Lewis is 0.3 of a second ahead of TQ. Make that a full 4 seconds. Bobby Freddie parks himself 8 seconds behind Lewis. Keith's going to be in the number 3 spot. Miss Ina in the 4. Coming up to the 3-minute warning. There it is, 2 down, 3 to go. Lewis, Bobby, Keith, and Miss Ina. Right now, Lewis hanging on to a 11-second lead. He's now 6 seconds ahead of TQ time. And right now, Lewis is now up to a 15-lap pace. Lewis is destroying the TQ time. Right now, Bobby in 2, followed by Keith and Miss Ina. Miss Ina now taking over the 3 spot. Mr. Keith drop backs into the 4, coming up the 2-minute warning. Right now, top 3, Lewis, Bobby, and Miss Ina. Keith coming through 20.7. Takes back his number 3 spot. Miss Ina goes back into the 4. Right now, with the 2-minute warning, Miss Ina is only 3 seconds behind him. But right now, it is Lewis dropping back to a 14-lap pace. He's still 4 seconds ahead of TQ time. Let's see if we can do it. Keith, new pass lap that time, 20.7. Bobby right now, 14 seconds behind Lewis. Keith, 25.3, slows up. And right now, Miss Ina can take Keith and put him in the number 4 spot. And she does. Miss Ina taking over the number 3 spot by 2 seconds over Keith. Lewis hanging tough right now. 5 seconds ahead of TQ. 1:20 on the clock. Don't forget, you can watch everything on YouTube right now. We are videotaping live. Lewis right now, 5 seconds ahead of TQ. Ina, 21.5. New pass lap for her. She's now 10 seconds ahead of Keith now. She's looking at Bobby, trying to go up at that number 2 spot. There it is. 1 to go. Yellow's on. 1 to go. It's Lewis, Bobby, Miss Ina, and Keith. Lewis going around there still maintaining that. Miss Ina, 21, and Keith with a 20.5. New pass lap for him on 10. And right now, Miss Ina hanging on to a 5-second lead. 45 seconds to go. Guys, this hobby store will remain open for about another half hour, then we'll close it down. 30 seconds to go. Lewis leading it out right now. He's ahead of Bobby right there. That's 1 and 2 going down the middle. That's the leader. He just rolled it, but it's okay. You're qualifying, so it doesn't matter what position you're in. Right now, Lewis is 14 seconds off. He needs to stay with this lap because he's going to try to break the TQ. And he's 0.2 of a second. You got to put it down, Lewis. Time to do it. Race it out, guys. Race it out. All right, now it's Lewis, Bobby, Ina, and Keith. We'll see if Lewis can set a new TQ. He is 0.2 of a second ahead. Lewis, you're done. Wow. It is close. Keith, you're done. Waiting for Bobby and Ina. Ina, you're done. Bobby done. Wow, at the last second, Lewis sets a new TQ. 14.506.3. Wow, that's 0.3 of a second difference. Bobby, 14.521, and Miss Ina hanging on 13, 5, 11. Guys, it is now 8:24. At 9 o'clock, we'll go off with the mains. I'll give you guys a little bit, maybe a little before 9. You don't need a whole half hour. Let's just sit there. Just calm down. All right, Allie's coming out with the sheets. She mains are being posted, also the heat sheets. Running order is going to remain the same. Pro stock truck, stock buggy, and Indy buggy will be up the last race. saying that every other foam inside the block, they're shaving them off. 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes. For the octagons, I guess. All right, ladies, let's get them ready to go. 5 minutes. Looking for Bobby, Keith, Ina, and Sean. I need some volunteers for this one, guys. Hey, lady, hey. That's the music was just playing. Sorry, it wasn't me. We'll do a sing-along later. Time tonight is Hooters. Woo!
Why don't you just call out?
All right, 3 minutes ago. Looking for Bobby, Keith, Ina, and Sean.
The dishwasher at work.
That's right. If anybody needs his RC car wash, Bobby has a automatic car wash at the Shands Hospital. What he does is he puts the pizza on the rack first and scrubbly bubbles the pizza. What's up, brother? Look at him. What up? Bobby's gangster. All right, turnmost is going to be Lewis and some volunteers. Let's get them out there, guys. 2.5 on the clock. Let's get them checked in. This is the A mains. Feel like Allie now. Iggy, get out there and help out your dad. Let's go, guys. Thank you, Arnell. Mason's out there looking for Lewis. He's out there somewhere. Lewis and Iggy. Come on, guys. Get him out there. We're all checked in, guys. Let's get them lined up on the back. Here comes our boys and girls. Bobby Ifredi going to take the TQ spot, 14-5-17. Behind him is Mr. Keith Shivers in the 2, Miss Ina Ganick in the 3, and Mr. Sean Schmidt in the number 4. Let's get them lined up. Again, Bobby, Keith, Ina, and Sean. Iggy, I hear you in out there. Get out here and help your dad. We need one more turn marshal. Come on, Iggy. If not, you're not getting dinner. No booties tonight for you. No booters. No telephones. You don't know anybody. You're not a drug dealer. Get that phone off your head. Sean, stop calling him. He doesn't know anybody. Drivers are ready. Turn marshals are ready. Here we go, guys. This is Pro Stock Truck. Everybody's going to go on a horn less than 5. Here we go, guys. And right now, Bobby and Keith right there in the lead, followed by Miss Ina and Sean. Bobby in the white, Keith in the orange, yellow, and black. And here he comes, Mr. Dominator himself, scrubbing bubbles, Bobby Brady, coming around, 22.9, Keith 23.4. And here comes the chase group. Miss Ina's going to be in that 26.9 in the 3, and Sean up there rolled it. And there it is, Keith now up in the lead. Bobby gets caught on the pipe. And Miss Ina had him caught, but she puts it into the pipe. And now we'll see if Keith can hold on to that lead. Coming up to the 4-minute mark. And here he comes down the back straightaway, Keith Shivers. And here he is, Keith in the lead right now. Here comes Bobby powering around. He's now a couple seconds back. And Miss Ina is still in the 3. And here comes Sean in the number 4 spot. 1 down, 4 to go. Right now your leader is Mr. Keith Shivers. Here he is in the orange, yellow, and black. Bobby in the white. Miss Ina trying to reel him in, and Sean trying to reel her down. Keith, fast lap 22.7. Bobby, 22.8. Right now your leader is in front of the driver's stand. 1:30 down, 3.5 to go. All new fast laps, everybody. Top 3 running 22-second laps. Right now we have Keith ahead of TQ Pace by 12 seconds. Bobby now coming down the back, and then they are battling out for the lead. Bobby going to take it. Oh, and Keith bumps him out of the way. Wow, that's close racing there. Bobby trying to take it back. Woo! Oh, and Bobby rolls it upside down, trying to get back on. Keith, wow, what a race we got going on up here. And Sean trying to reel Miss Ina. Miss Ina now trying to catch the leaders, and here they come down the back, and Bobby up on 2 wheels trying to push it again. And Keith now with a little bit of breathing room, about 2 seconds. And Bobby parks it right back. 2 down, 3 to go, guys. Plenty of racing going on. Miss Ina slowly trying to catch the leaders right now. And here they come over the first set of rollers through the chicane. And here they go. Bobby reels in Keith again. And here they come down the back straightaway. Bobby's going to try to keep it under control. Traction roll. Oh, he had up on 2 wheels again. Bobby has got some power going on there. And here they are in the center of the track. Again, Bobby hits the pipe, and Keith gets a little bit of a breathing room. Here they go over the short jump here. Keith coming up on lap traffic. Right now, Miss Ina, 22.3 last time around. Bobby ran at 21.7. That's the fast lap, and here we go. Coming up on Sean, the leader coming up on you. Oh, and Keith gets caught on the pipe. Sean gets caught up trying to get out of his way. And uh-oh, Bobby is out. What is up? 3 down, 2 to go. Miss Ina now taking over the 2 spot. Sean's going to be jumping up into the 3, but right now this is the Keith Shivers race to win. 1:45 to go. The man, the myth, the legend, Scrubbing Bubbles is out. Wow, we had a race going on. Him and Keith were battling out there for a while. Right now, guys, hobby store's closing in 7 minutes. Oh, hobby store just closed, according to the newest employee. Keith coming through 23 flat right now. No one's even near him. He's a lap up on the group. Here comes Sean in that number 3 spot. Sean's going home with some hardware. Just think, if you had a couple more thousand, Sean, you can go home with second. Next race up is Pro Star, Kyle, Mason, Vince, and Dan the Man. There it is. Yellow's on. 1 to go. Hooterville it is. Is that like who's on second? What's on third? I don't know who's on first. 40 seconds. Your leader coming through. 22.9 for Mr. Keith. He's on a practice lap now. 30 seconds to go. Miss Ina now slowly catching him with 24 seconds to go. She's 11 seconds behind Keith. She's on the lead lap. 15 seconds. He's going to get another lap. See if Miss Ina can get around in 10 seconds left. See if she can get around for another lap. Looks like they may just make it. And there it is. They're going to have a final lap going on. Race it out, guys. This is for it. The leader coming down the back straightaway. Keith going to take the win. Keith, you are done. Good race. 14-5-10. New TQ on that one. Well, Bobby holds on to the TQ, but waiting for Miss Ina to come around. There she is. Going to take that number 2. Good drive at 9 seconds back. And looking for Sean to come around. Here he comes in that number 3 spot. Keith, 14-5-10. Ina, 14-5-19. And Sean, 13-5-25. Good race, guys. Woo, doggy. All right, next one up is going to be Stock Buggy. Bring it to the line.
Around with my dad. Joke around with my dad.
Your dad doesn't
Okay.
know.
I don't care. Don't do it anyways.
Sean. I know. Allie wants to know, can you get them shorts up a little higher? We're going to call those shorts the bro. Combination shorts and bra. Ladies and gentlemen, let's grid them up in the TQ spot. Kyle Newhouse, 16-5-18. Racing Mason going to be in that 2. Vince in the 3. And Dan the man going to be in that number 4 spot. Let's grid them up.
You know what you just did? Now when he's done, he's gonna walk in here. He's gonna touch.
I'll tell him.
Sean, Allie really likes it when you come in and touch her on the head and stuff. So, all right, guys, here we go. Everybody on horn, less than 5. Pro Stock Buggy. And here we go. See if Kyle can take home the win. He's got the TQ. Ooh, instantly, Vince going for that inside move. And here they go. They are close. Oh, and there it is. Mason trying to slide on the inside. Dan rolls it right there. They right there. Turn marshals are quick. But right now, Kyle's got Mason all over the back of him. Here they come. Vince right there.
Go, my child, go.
Allie just said, go, my child. So I don't know what you guys do. Is there a safe word like mommy? And there it is. Mason rolls it. Vince taking over that number 2 spot. Dan trying to reel him in. And Vince, let's see, he takes the lead. Let me see. No, Kyle hangs on to the lead. Vince in a 2, followed by Mason, and Bobby catches the pipe. Danny catches the pipe. Vince now in a 2. Fast lap is 20.2. Kyle on lap number 2. Mason taking back that number 2 spot now. Vince into the 3. And right now, Kyle is your leader now coming down the back straightaway. Mason in the white car, number 2. Vince in the burgundy. Danny in the purple in the 4. 19.5 by Kyle.
Kyle's getting quick.
1:15 down, 4:45 to go. Kyle Newhouse, 19-1, new fast lap that time. He has got it going on. He's going to be a tough one. Mason trying to reel him in, followed by Vince and Danny. Danny, new fast lap, 20.9 that time. Is that a lead change? It looks like Mason does take the lead right now. Here he comes down the back, and Mason now with a new lead. Kyle now follows him into the 2, followed by Vince and Danny. And there it is, 2 down, 3 to go. A lot of racing to go. Mason right now 16-5 away. Kyle 16-5, 17. And right now Mason on a 10-second lead. Vince now 15-501, 20.4. Fast lap that time. 2:40 to go.
You still work at Walmart?
Unfortunately.
You work at the one on 40?
She works in the greeting section, so go in and she'll greet you. And bring Dad. 2.5 down, 2.5 to go. Mason, Kyle, Vince, Danny, new pass lap 20.8 that time.
I tried to avoid any of
Kyle 19.3 that last lap. Now just 4 seconds behind Mason.
You just work at Walmart.
And here Mason comes down the back straightaway, stretching out that lead now a little bit longer than that. Mason now pulls 7 seconds back. There it is, 3 down, 2 to go. Next up will be Indy Stock. Will be the final race of today's program. Thank you guys for coming out. We'll see you Saturday. Remember, if you race Thursday and Saturday, you get your second class free on Saturday. Mason, Kyle, Vince, and Danny. That's the running order right now. 1:45 to go.
Oh my god, I'm so tired.
Vince now bumping up to a 16-lap pace. He's now 2 seconds behind Mr. Newhouse. They come through the center of the track now. Mason out there by himself. He's now 7 seconds ahead of the group. 1:20 on the clock. Right now, Mason 10 seconds under TQ time right now. Kind of hard to do in the mains. Mason in that white buggy trying to play cool. Kyle now coming up. Danny with him right there. Kyle 19.4. Vince, new pass lap into the teens with a 19.6 on lap 12. Right now, everybody on 16-lap pace. 1 to go, 1 to go. Mason, Kyle, Vince, and Danny, your leader coming through by himself. Vince now trying to reel in Kyle. "30 seconds. Mason out there, 15.506, 12 seconds at TQ. And Kyle is reeling him in a little bit, just 5 seconds back. And there is Vince. He's 3 seconds back behind him. 20 seconds on the clock. Wow. And Kyle has put the numbers on him. 8 seconds to go would be your final lap. And here it goes. Kyle trying to reel in Mason. Waiting for Mason to make a mistake. And here comes Mason down the back. Race is over. When you cross, you're going to be done. Mason taking the victory. 16.505. Kyle 16.509. And Vince, new pass lap 16.511. And just waiting for Danny to finish up. And he's done. Mason, Kyle, and Vince. Good race, guys. All right, final race coming up of today's program will be Indy Stock Buggy, Lewis, Keith, Bobby, and Miss Ina. This is Bobby's chance to redeem himself. Bobby, you take this weekend and do repairs on your car. No dishwashers. Don't take them apart. Just check all your nuts and bolts. Or just check your nuts. All right, we're all checked in. Let's get him on the back straightaway. Lewis at the last race took the TQ 14.506. Keith, you're going to park behind him, followed by Boobie and Miss Ina.
You should say it. You should say it. Go ahead.
No, the mic's on. So
You can turn it off.
No. All right, again, Lewis, Keith, Bobby, and Miss Ina. This is the final race, independent stock buggy. Here we go, guys. Keep it clean. Everybody on the horn, less than 5. And we're off. See if Lewis can take TQ win. Oh, man, right away they bang and Miss Ina up to the number 2 spot, guys. Let them get you. Wow, Keith and Bobby battling out, both of them in their yellow cars. They seem to attract. Opposites attract. But that leaves the man, the myth, Luis Torres in the lead right now, coming through 21-1. There he is in that red body, followed by Miss Ina with a 22-8 in that number 2 spot, followed by Bobby and Keith. Right now, Lewis out there by himself, going up the final roller. Here he is, coming up the back of the track. And down the back, Luis Torres right now in the lead. Bobby 2, Miss Ina 2, Bobby and Keith. Lewis 21-040. That's the new pass lap. One down, 4 to go. Lewis, Ina, Bobby, and Keith. Lewis coming through. Another fast lap for Lewis. He's getting faster, 20.6. He's on a 16.516 pace right now. That is ballistic. He should be running with the pros. Right now, Miss Ina hanging on to a 19-second lead over Bobby. Keith back 4 seconds from him. But right now, your leader coming through, Lewis, 20.3. Every lap's been faster. Lewis is on a mission. 16.514 pace. 16.514 would have got you in 4th place in the A mains. And right now, Ina back into the number 4 spot. Right now, it's Bobby moving up to 2. Keith follows him, and Ina in the 4. Coming up to the 3-minute warning. Both Bobby and Keith were on 21-second laps. Lewis right now drops off that 16-lap pace, and there it is, 2 down, 3 to go. Lewis on 15.502. Lewis coming down the back straightaway. Miss Ina gets out of the leader's way, thank you, and Lewis goes through. 15.501, and it goes 3 and 4. 2 and 3, battling out between Bobby and Keith. Here they come down the back straightaway. Keith now taking over that 2 spot. Bobby back into the 3. And Lewis comes through unopposed right now. Coming up on lap traffic. Leader coming up on you guys. Bobby, leader's coming up on you. Just hold your line. He'll go around you. Uh-oh, and there it is. Keith rolled it, but Kyle, in his cat-like reflexes, goes and grabs the car. It only took 12 seconds. Coming up, the 2-minute warning. And there it is, 3 down, 2 to go. Lewis, right now, he's ahead of TQ pace, 15.503. Bobby in the 2, followed by Keith and Miss Ina. Right now, Bobby and Keith are locked in a battle. And here they come down the back straightaway. Lewis right now, a lap up on the group. Keith takes over that number 2 spot again. Bobby in his Logano body in the number 3. And Miss Ina trying to reel him in. Miss Ina, 21-1 that time, new pass lap. Trying to reel in Bobby for that number 3 spot. And she's now right behind him there. And we got a crash on top. Lewis comes through, 20.8. 120 on the clock. Lewis right now a lap up on the group, 15.501. He's got a driving school. Your battle right now between Ina and Bobby, and there they are in front. And Miss Ina now taking over the 3 spot. Bobby now goes back to the 4. And there it is, 1 to go. And Miss Ina coming down in the number 3 spot. Bobby seems to be having some difficulty out there. Keith still in that number 2 spot. Miss Ina driving. There it is. Bobby pulling off. Again, broken parts. What is up with the maintenance in these cars? We have a suicide hotline on the line. What's wrong? I am Bobby.
Did he break?
My car's broke. I don't want to live anymore.
Here, take this butter.
Tell the fat guy in the microphone to shut up. 20 seconds to go.
Take this butter knife out my hand.
He literally broke again.
Lewis out there killing it. And Keith, new fast lap, 20.7 there on 13. 10 seconds to go. Right now it's Lewis, Keith, and Ina. That is it, guys. When you cross, you will be done. There it is. Lewis taking the victory. Even beat his own TQ. No, yeah, he did beat his own TQ. Keith taking the number 2 spot. Waiting for Miss Ina, and here she comes down the straightaway. You are done. Lewis, 15.505. Keith, 14.511. And Miss Ina, 14.517. Give me a few minutes, guys. We'll do a trophy presentation in front of the driver's stand. Thank you again for coming. Again, if you come Saturday and race, you get 2 for 1. I do ribbons today. Ribbons.
Did Bobby break?
No, he pulled the ball cup or something. I guess I should use medals, huh? They did pay full price. I should give them medals. Bunch of losers. I feel bad. Rough day. Ladies and gents, let's get them lined up for your trophy presentation in front of the driver's stand. We're going to have Bobby TQ, Keith going to take the win, Miss Ina 2, and Sean going to be in the 3. Again, Bobby TQ, Keith in the number 1, Miss Ina 2, Sean in the 3. Next guy should be up. It'll be Mason taking a win. Kyle TQ in 2nd, Vince in the 3. Next guy's up again, Pro Stock Buggy, Mason taking a win. Kyle, TQ in 2, Vince in the 3. Let's go, guys. Stock Buggy. And the final race of tonight will be Independent Stock Buggy. Luis Torres taking TQ and win. Keith going to take the 2. And Miss Ina getting some more hardware today, taking the number 3 spot. Good racing, guys, today. Bobby ran a good race. But breakage not helping. Again, Lewis, TQ and win. Keith 2, and Miss Ina in the 3. Again, thank you guys for coming out. Again, if you come out Saturday, and we get enough people, we might be doing some giveaways, so come check it out. Don't forget, you can come race Saturday. You still have Sunday and Monday to spend time with your loved ones, get drunk, whatever you want to do. Not drink, whatever. Thank you, guys. We are off the air.